take a taxi from point A to point B, arrive, I'm walking down the road. As I'm coming down the road, my neighbor comes out and she's like, Clayton, I saw this opportunity at this institution or whatever, you should actually apply. She hands out the same brochure application
No way.
that I just received at the library at Oil Labs. And then I was like instantly like, okay, the universe is universing. I'm taking this as an opportunity or a sign to go for it. And then, yeah.
Hi, guys. Welcome to Response Able with Professor Nikki James. I mean, louder is better.
I think so.
Because then we can yell. I feel like I have a fake loud voice. Because if I actually screamed right now, I would be super loud. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Response Able podcast. Today, I get to introduce you to Clayton Jardine. Now, I know that Clayton is a favorite for many, many, many people. And if you are connected to CIBA at all, or you have been on my Impact Entrepreneurship in South Africa program, you saw Clayton's photo on this podcast and got super excited to hear his story. Or just hear from him in general, because he is always encouraging, always inspiring, and always dropping amazing, amazing, amazing wisdom. So I am so excited to get to share Clayton's story with you all. For those that know him already and those that don't, you are in for a treat. So let's jump in. Clayton, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Dr. James.
I am so excited that you were here. For everybody that is listening to this amazing podcast conversation that I get to have with you, who are you?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I think, being excited about this conversation that we have as well. So I'm Clayton Jardine from South Africa, Cape Town specifically. Grew up in Mitchells Plain, around Mitchells Plain. And I'm currently working at an institution called CIBA Business School, where I was once a student, and now I work at the institution. And what I've been doing, or what I'm interested in, is basically human-centered leadership. Just creating spaces for younger, whether it's students or younger people, just to be themselves and to discover who they are, where they're going. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so this is my favorite question. Tell me the story of how we met. If you remember. Some people don't remember, which makes it even funnier.
So, we've met on a program, obviously, with the relationship and partnership with CIBA and Northeastern University, Boston, Massachusetts. If I'm not mistaken, it's about, I think it could be 18, 19 years, just above when it comes to the partnership and the relationship.
This year will be 21.
21.
We're 21.
And
I was not leading the program
100%.
21 years ago. And I'm pretty sure that you were probably in elementary school at that point.
Yeah, 100%. So I was once a student on this program. This was it called GIE, right? Kind of, no? Immersive program, yeah. And so I was a student on the program, really enjoyed it. And then I started working at CIBA, and then I was responsible for carrying out the program, making sure that it actually happens and everything goes according to plan.
Yeah.
Whether it's operations, anything and in around the program. And the way I met Nikki or Dr. James would be, we had a session and I noticed this lady with this a mountain coat, if I'm not mistaken.
Mountain coat?
The mountain jacket, those coats that you really enjoy wearing. So, and I'm looking and I'm like, who's this lady? I've never seen. I've been working with Northeastern for a while. I haven't seen, no one spoke to me about it. And I think that's where we met. I think we had a conversation around that, or just a conversation briefly. Or maybe I can't remember quite clearly. Maybe I would like to hear your side as to how you met me.
Well, I think you were working at CIBA at the time.
Yeah.
I think it might have been maybe even your first year out of university. out of your undergrad,
Yeah.
or maybe your second.
Mhm.
And you and, oh my gosh, Maddie.
Yeah.
Yes,
Maddie and
you and Maddie were
Yeah.
both kind of essentially TAing
Yes.
the program together. And it was the first time we'd run the program post-COVID, so
Yes.
2022.
Mhm.
And I was taking over the program the following year.
Yes,
So I was
yes.
asked to be a random add-on that I don't think anyone at SIBA knew about or
Yeah.
knew was coming. So you not knowing who I was, on point.
Mhm.
And I pretty much spent most of my time just hanging out with you guys because you were way more fun than the professors. Let's be real. And the rest is history.
Yeah.
And so now we've been working on the program together for 4 years.
Yeah. It's been 4 years already.
Yeah, this is the 4th year, this one we're about to do. And I can honestly say it's been so amazing watching you change roles and grow and get more confidence and go from being a TA operationalizing the program to being someone that all of the students look up to and respect, and you providing mentorship and leadership to all the students and also facilitating and saving my butt in a lot of ways. We also have had some funny stories together. One that comes to mind for me is we sent all the students back on the boat from Robben Island, and all of us who were operationally in charge of the program accidentally left ourselves all behind because there wasn't enough space on the boat. So that was a funny story that we handled together. So I think we're really used to handling chaos together, which is really amazing. And I always know that you're going to work it out.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Okay, so the goal of the Responsible podcast is, for me, is one, I travel around the world and I know amazing people all around the world. And they all don't know each other because I'm the one that has the good fortune of being able to travel around and know all these amazing people. So I love that I'm introducing all my friends to my friends. And the running joke here on the podcast is I pretty much introduce every single person as one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
So I don't think I haven't said that yet. So you were one of my favorite people, and I'm so excited to introduce you to all my students that are listening to the podcast. And just friends and people that are listening to the podcast. So that's the first thing. And I think the second thing is, the second, I guess, reason behind the podcast is, I think, and this will probably resonate with your students that you work with as well, it's getting harder and harder to make that transition from higher education and study to working out what your path looks like, what your first job looks like, and all of that. So part of it is as well getting to share the amazing stories of the amazing humans I know from all around the world, but also having them provide wise counsel and advice and just sharing their story with young people that are kind of going through that transition. So based on that, it'd be great to hear from you. What did you study initially? What was the plan at high school? Where did you end up study-wise? Set the scene for us. Who is young Clayton?
Yeah, thank you. So I think that is very valuable, the intention of the podcast, because so when I was in high school, I failed 11th grade, as I think they would say in the USA, or grade 11.
Junior year, yeah.
Yeah, I failed that, and I was like, I didn't know where to go because I had this physics as a module or a subject, pure math. And the reason for picking it was just because, okay, if you have these subjects, you aim for the way, you're good, you're smart, a lot of opportunity around there, etc., etc. Right? Failed those 2 modules. I failed the year. I was given an opportunity to move to a different high school. I afforded that opportunity to then continue. And then I had to change about 3 or 4 subjects. All right. So I went to a different school. I had to learn 3 different subjects. And actually that year, I was actually top achiever or second in the grade. And then one of the modules, economics or business economics, I ended up being the top as well.
Okay.
And I passed really well in my matric year. So I think that for me, that shift or transition was extremely important. It taught me a lot of things, whether it's in career or just in life in general. As much as you can try and have things figured out, you need to leave room for error, number one. And also, you also can't control everything. A conversation can take you...
Really?
Yeah. You can't. A conversation can take you in a different direction, an opportunity or a misfortune can take you into fortune, I would say, where when one door closes, another door opens. So yeah, and then finished my matric. I didn't know what I want to do, which is 12th grade. I spent about a year just at another at a social enterprise called R Labs, or Reconstructed Living Labs. And that year I decided I'm not going to stay at home. I'm not going to just, float around. I'm going to get busy, do something. And then for that year, that gap year after finishing high school, I did a lot of short courses and things, business, entrepreneurship, anything that the organization had to offer, which it was free at the time. I did it. All right. And then through that, I came to discover Tsiba Business School, which is where I then went on and did my degree. They came there that day in the library at our labs. They came in, they had this marquee, telling more about, they have the little marketing bags, the pencil cases and pens that they're giving away and application forms. To be honest, when I came there, I was not interested in a word. I just wanted the pencil bag.
Hey,
I just want
that marketing person nailed it.
100%. And then I had a look at the application, just what to do, and I was like, okay, cool, put it in my bag. Now, with real intention when I get home to fill it in. Even though at the time I didn't know what I was going to do the following year. Take a taxi from point A to point B, arrive, I'm walking down the road. As I'm coming down the road, my neighbor comes out and she's like, Clayton, I saw this opportunity at this institution and whatever, you should actually apply. She hands out the same brochure application that I just received at the library at all labs. And then I was like instantly like, okay, the universe is universing. I'm taking this as an opportunity or a sign to go for it. And then applied, got accepted. At the time we were interviewed at Tsiba in order to be accepted there on scholarship. Went there, did my interview. At the same time I got a job and I was working at a warehouse company where they had like your printers, electronics, and I was working in the warehouse. And I remember on the day, it was like the interview, I was on the job or assistant driver, and they dropped me off at the interview in order to study. When I finished, I got back they picked me up again, and then I went. But that was all, that wasn't arranged. That wasn't arranged with my manager or anything. That was just by another colleague who was a driver.
Someone was supportive.
100% supportive. And then boom, got that, I got accepted. And then I would say my entire life and trajectory just changed. Instantly after that, the following year, got accepted, completed my certificate in the year. But also what was really cool, I think at the beginning with Tsiba, is that we went on a leadership camp for a weekend. All the students that were first years, we all just went on and that's where, those small dominoes started to like tick, changing and kind of in my trajectory. So answering questions like, who am I, what I want to be, etc. And a lot of facilitation and work going into that. So it was a very safe space and community settle from the get-go. Yep, and then did my high certificate, moved on into my first year of my degree, which is a business degree. And I failed a module in my first year as well. So that was a finance module. I was never strong like with accounting and things like that.
Join the club.
Yeah. You too.
Now I teach finance.
Oh, wow.
So I have a finance subject that I teach. So I can teach the strategy side. I'm not great at the numbers side.
Yeah. So I'm not alone. And then I failed that, module. It put me back about a year, and I eventually graduated later on. So that's the studies. I did the immersion program with Northeastern on the, I think it was in my second year, 2019. Met amazing people. I think at the time, another chipping, I'm busy being molded and being changed direction. And I think where this program specifically, why it's important to me and immersive experiences, especially international, is that there's a lot of value add to, I would say, the local students as well as to the students coming in visiting. So for the local students, what I've experienced for me was that a couple of years ago when I was in high school, I would never ever believe that I would have friends and acquaintances outside of South Africa. That, and also working with these students, growing up within South Africa and Cape Town, we have this massive picture of what America is, or I would say the UK is, and then what Africans or South Africans or myself at the time, we almost kind of I would say, shrug in a sense, or I feel like there's some sort of inferior complex just because of nationality and the comparison between first and third world. And when I was working with the students on the program on the GIE, it was actually reaffirmed me at the time that I'm capable.
Yeah, wow.
I'm capable when it comes to carrying out what I'm learning, interacting as a decent human being, and appreciating people and other people appreciating me. So that was the value that that experience away kind of kicked off, and why I'm so closely and why I enjoy and love immersive programs, especially with Northeastern as well. Like all your GIEs, I think there's a lot of emphasis on what the visiting country or people will come to experience. Like, the South Africans who are there, we're showing you a good time, we're looking after you, we're making sure you're safe. We're just so invested in making sure you have a good time, but we sometimes forget that they are really valuable experiences that we also learn. That's what I come to experience. I'm extremely grateful for these programs, even the partnership, even with you, Nikki. It's been really an amazing ride.
Yeah, I love that. And one of the questions I have for you, just because I know that is your experience, what are some of the challenges you had? And this is my experience as well, being a first generation university student and not really having anybody in your family or anyone around your context that really understood the experience that you were having going to university. What were some of the challenges with that you had to overcome that would be different to a student that maybe whose parents had been to college and had some advice to share?
That's a really good question. So I think my experience firstly is that this might sound a bit provocative, but within the Eastern and the context of South Africa, there's a lot of racial segregation that were put in place by the previous regime and apartheid. And because I'm the first generation and my parents and my aunties and uncle, they were, a part of that struggle. So they have certain preconceived perceptions of people locally of different racial groups. And it's not the most humane perceptions, right? So coming into Tsiba, I came to an environment where I was the minority and the black community was quite big. I'm colored, from the colored community. And I was so happy because all of these preconceived ideas, stereotypes, etc., was put into challenge just there. Because what I've been learning from my parents and communities about a certain demographic and a group is completely different to what I'm experiencing. So those are, for example, one of just when it comes to context, South Africa, one of the they didn't, or my parents, or because I'm first generation, they didn't get into a space where they could experience the region of diversity.
Amazing.
And everything that comes with
So
it
you got that
culturally.
opportunity.
Yeah, and I'm super grateful for that. The other challenges was, I think my family supported me as much as they could, I would say. But I needed more support. And what the people that I leaned on were actually other students.
Yeah.
That was they were they helped me get through. We helped each other get through.
Right.
Because they were also in a similar situation and environment. They didn't have really people to go sit with. So we would be at campus up until 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, just unpacking and unpacking. That was me in accounting and I still failed.
But you did it again and you
I did it
passed.
again. I actually, so funny story with the accounting module, I read out that exam thrice and I failed all 3 times.
Oh no. Just numbers are just not your thing, Clayton, and that's okay.
Yeah, 100%. And
you found your lane.
Yeah, 100% leadership and people. So I'm extremely grateful for that. Being a first generation student, the power of diversity and people and leadership and leaning onto people that's different. They speak different languages to you, come from a different environment, different experience, different culture.
Right.
So that my friends, we're still in touch. My friends, we kept each other going. Like, it's 2 a.m. in the morning, so I took a bus in the morning at 5 a.m. My commute is about 2 hours. So what I would do is I would literally en route. My friend was much more stronger in accounting and finance. So what I would do is halfway through the journey at about 6, I would jump off the bus, go to my friend's house, and we would study and quickly and just go through things like for an hour or so. And then we would make our way to campus, whether it was to do an exam, etc. So yeah, that I think in the context of being a first generation, was a college student within my intermediate family, that was all those other things besides the completing the getting the certificate,
Right.
all the other things in and around that, the joys, the sadness, the challenges. That was like the I think the most valuable value add when it comes to completing our studies.
Yeah. Amazing. And so you literally had a 2-hour commute each way every day.
Yeah, so it's about 4 hours commute in total.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, I love that. Well, I don't love that for you, but I love that you persevered and made it through, and look at you now.
Yeah, thank you so much. And those 2 hour commutes were the most valuable, actually.
Is that where you did all your study?
Not really studying. There was a season where I spent that commute just catching up on Game of Thrones. So I spent a lot of
your downtime. That was
that
your
was a downtime. Yeah, that was my downtime. And a lot of mindfulness that happened there, because it's a bus, everyone's quiet, you're just sitting there. All you have is your thoughts, whether it's your headphones, and you're just looking outside of the window, going through everything, thinking. Sometimes you take a nap, you'll wake up, okay, we're still. But I appreciated that, because that was like the downtime of preparing me for the way there's any challenge, I would think about it. Along that journey, if I had to read, I would read a book or a couple of pages of a book. Yeah, so I'm also appreciative of that, even that commute itself. Some people say like 4 hours commuting. I'm like, yeah, that they work because I'm good.
Sometimes you do what you got to do, and you just have to make the best of it.
100%.
Sounds like you did that, which is awesome. Okay, so university came. There was some struggles, some failures, and some successes. What was the transition like in terms of graduating and trying to work out, what you want to be? Because as you say, like leadership and people and humans, that's your interest. That's not necessarily a very straight line career path. So how did you navigate the transition of finishing, having an idea of who you wanted to be in the world, and then ending up where you went with your first job?
Okay, so actually, my stream, what I majored basically is marketing. So I'm still quite passionate about marketing in and around design or anything marketing, anything people, marketing people, same thing. And then, okay, there's always stories on everything, stories on stories when we answering a question. So in my final year, so I lost a textbook, right? But at SIBA, they give you a textbook, but you need to return it. Cool. I couldn't find it.
Until you lose it.
Yeah, until you lose it. I lost my textbook. I'm like, I don't have the money to, obviously, I don't want to tell my parents about this textbook that I lost and that they need to obviously pay back. I needed to find a solution to this. So what I did was I went to the library and I said, okay, look here. Unfortunately, I misplaced my textbook. I don't know where it is. I probably lost it. Is there a way that I can work or volunteer and work some hours off in the library so that I can pay back basically, or pay it off, and helping you in the library? After about a week or 2 or 3, it was like back and forth. And then like, okay, cool. No problem. Let's do it. Cool. I think it was 60 hours that I had to do. To spread over a couple of weeks. Man came into the library, helping them out when it comes to reorganizing, getting textbooks right, helping with giving out textbooks to students, etc. I think 3-4 days passed, or 2 days before my last day, basically. I was at home and I was standing outside, and then a guy came around in the road asking, don't you have any clothes and things? I was like, cool, I think I might have. Went home, I went over inside, I had a basket with like tackies and things that I don't wear anymore, but it's still in good condition, and clothes. I opened up and the book is there. The textbook is right there. Textbook is right there.
Convenient.
Yeah, so convenient. Like very nicely, not hidden. I literally looked everywhere else but there, and that's where it was, right? Cool, hand the guy over some things, some goodies, come back, hand in the textbook, right? And then I think I ventured off and did an internship, basically pro bono at a startup, because I was able to do that. It was remote. And in that time period, or closer to the time period with my internship ending, the library personnel that once worked there, they moved or got other opportunities. So they were recruiting basically for library assistants. And then one of the librarians, I'm so grateful for that. She actually recommended me.
Oh,
yeah.
amazing.
And then I was like, okay, cool, boom. Went for an interview. I got the interview. I got the job. So I started as part-time librarian or library assistant.
Mhm.
And then after a couple of months, I was, getting a bit bored in the library because it's extremely quiet. It's just slow. The first couple of months was like, okay, this is nice. But then I started to get fidgety. I needed to be doing something.
Mhm.
And then I started helping out with the immersion programs at that time, as well as helping the marketing department at the college at Ziba with design, social media, wherever they need help when it comes to marketing. I would support and assist. So doing that for a couple of months, and then an opportunity again. Someone left, and then the marketing coordinator role came about, and I applied for it. And so appreciated that I got that as well.
Mhm.
And then I found myself in the marketing team, working there for a couple of years. And at the same time, I was also doing this immersive programs. So I would say my story was navigating, what to do after college and after getting your degree or any sort of certification and going on to the next thing. I actually didn't have it planned out. I think I'm grateful for that. A lot of things, like I've explained now with my journey and my story, things came to me in a sense of I was either in the right place at the right time, or I had the right energy in the right environment.
Mhm.
So I'm grateful for that.
Right.
And through that, I've never been the plan type. I need to, by the fifth year, I need to be doing this. I need to do that.
Right.
Works for some people, right?
Right.
They're perfect examples, but maybe I'm scared to find out if it works for me, right? But at
Well,
the
this
same
other
time,
way seems to be working. For
yeah,
you,
quite
so-
well, quite well. So I've been grateful for that. So I've never had anything planned out,
Mhm.
but there is probably some sort of privilege attached to not needing or being urgently needed to have certain things planned out,
Right.
depending on circumstance. Or what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but I also think you didn't. It's not like you sat there and waited for it to come to you. You
Yeah.
offered the skills that you had before they had a position available. So you kind of networked and were of service to the people without any expectation. And and you were a good team player and used your human skills and your people skills so that when there was an opportunity, it just made sense to them that you would be a great fit because they'd already seen you working. So like almost that volunteering and helping and being open to using your skills to help, like kind of, created those opportunities for you when a position did become available, which is really cool.
I know, I agree. So when it comes to my journey, I just, I'm so grateful for the people that I've met and around me.
Yeah.
And it is what maybe I'm tapping myself on the back, but you are what you attract to a certain extent. So honestly, I've no reason. We don't have to be transactional when it comes to helping people or just being of assistance. So that's always what guided me. That's my North Star. I'm going to help you because I want to. It's not because down the line 5 years from now, you might just come in handy.
Right. Yeah. Intention is everything. It's so true. It's like, and no one can prescribe an intention to you, right?
Yeah.
The action could be exactly the same. You could have been doing it because you knew it was going to lead to a job and that was your strategy, but you were doing it in a your intention was genuine. And I think even though we can never know what someone's true intention is, I think we feel it.
Yes, 100%
right?
feel.
And we feel it because it just, I don't know how to explain that. I wish I knew how to explain that.
Me neither.
You feel it. You can kind of just tell like who is doing it with a gracious and loving intention and who's doing it as a strategy. It just feels different. So yeah, so that ability and willingness to be open and share and give what you had to offer has opened up some amazing opportunities for you, which is really cool. And I mean, today, what is your role right now? What are you doing right now? You kind of, before we were chatting, you were explaining all the things you're doing, but what is it that you do today?
So at the moment, I'm the alumni and career officer at Ziba Business School. So I moved out of the marketing space. So I'm an alumni and career officer. I just mentioned
people and leadership. Yes, we got there. That's amazing.
So yeah, that's the space that I'm in now, working with people as well, whether it's placing students in in the internships in the final year, or building and creating a much more vibrant community, alumni community at Ziba. That's what I'm my current responsibilities, and I've been enjoying it. Yeah, I've been enjoying building exciting things for everyone to kind of communicate and connect, and I'm enjoying just seeing how things unfold.
Yeah. I mean, I guess one of the other questions that I have is what are some of the lessons that you've learned through that early career process? Like maybe some mistakes that you made, lessons that you learned. If you were going to do it over again, what would be the advice that you would give yourself?
Hmm. Listen, and I think and feel that failing quickly, failing fast,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of benefit to it.
There's
A
that
lot of
entrepreneurship. That entrepreneurship learning is coming out right here. Shout out to John.
yeah. So failing fast is also part of design thinking. That part is like failing quickly.
Yeah.
You know, if you're struggling now, you sometimes people glamorize struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Like glamorize it. It's amazing. Like, oh, I struggled for 5, 6, 7 months.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so kudos to those individuals that make it out of that struggle. But there's a certain threshold that I have for struggle,
Mm-hmm.
and where failing fast is much better. So with failing fast, you pick up what the challenges, what you need to work on much quicker than waiting for a long time. And you know, there's still a possibility at the end where this might not land or we might not get to it. So based on my experience where I'm from and the limited resource I have around myself growing up, I there's no way I'm consciously making a decision to struggle for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I come from struggle.
Mm-hmm.
There's absolutely at my tender young age at 29, 30, I'm like, um, I don't want to come out to struggle.
Right.
You know, come out from communities that struggle. I actually don't want to struggle long. I want to, okay, this is not working for me. How do I navigate and or either pivot so that I can go on a journey that's much more beneficial when it comes to me enjoying it, and at the same time also when I'm able to actually share my energy into it.
Yeah.
You know, there's two schools of thought. They'll be like, some be like, no, but you should push on or whatever. I'm like, I don't want to push on, but it doesn't mean that I want things easier to me. I'm prepared to work and challenge myself, but there's a certain threshold where I'm like, okay, this is too much.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think there's also different types of struggle, right?
Mm.
There's a struggle where you know, again, going back to that intuition, there's a struggle where you're like, this is hard because there's skills that I need to learn so I can do this better or whatever. And it's a struggle where you have to kind of like self-actualize or develop or grow as a human or deal with some things that you've dealt, like limiting factors in your past. But then there's some struggle where you're beating down the system or there's a wall, you know, that's external to you that, you know, you could sit there and bang on that wall if you really wanted to, or you could, you know, use your lateral thinking skills to work out an alternative path.
Yeah.
And I feel like that innovator in you, that design thinking in you gives you that skill set to be able to kind of duck and weave as opposed to like smashing through. Like I've got this red, I don't know why, but when I'm with you, I will always have rugby analogies in my head. So I'm like, why be in the scrum when you can be the one, I don't even know the role, but when you can be the one that's running towards the touchdown or whatever. I would much rather be the guy out there taking the pass than the guy that's like in the scrum.
And someone once told just around that, they said a smart man learns by his own mistakes and a wise man learns by other people's.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
So,
that is so good.
That's for me. It's been like, I believe I've changed or shifted my thinking into abundance instead of scarcity. And I think that kind of changed a lot for me mentally when I'm going through challenges, because I believe that there's equal amount of opportunity. Maybe not equal, but there's a lot of opportunity around you.
Yeah.
And all you need to do is just be there, show up in a space
and see it.
Itself.
See it,
yeah. So I think that I would say, even today, it's still my North Star as well. Martha North Star, the plenty of North Stars.
We all have more than one. It's all good.
100%. And yeah, that's just, there's always opportunity. There's around opportunity to meet people. Meet people for me is like, oh, I met someone today, really cool person. That's already a tick for me for the day. Be like, okay, I achieved something, I added value. Or someone needed help with something, I could help them very quickly. That's me adding value to someone's life, connecting to someone else who could help him. That for me, that's enough. I'll tick that off. That's some value I've added to this.
Right. Yeah, that's so cool. What do you see? Like, do you have things that you have in mind that you want to achieve and do in the next 5 years or anything like that?
We'll
Or are
see.
you just, I mean, I know it's kind of a weird question after you just told me that you don't really
Yeah.
plan and you just kind of see what doors are open to you, but any gray, foggy, like visions that you're working towards that you want to see?
I still want to travel a bit more.
Mhm.
I think I'm not really going to put career. I'll see how that unfolds. But in terms of personally, I would like to travel a bit more, especially the United States of America. I really want to experience a cookout. I've been wanting to experience a cookout for the longest time.
Oh,
So I really want to go
okay.
to America to
You really
experience
want
that.
to go for 4th of July.
Yeah,
That sounds like you want to go to a 4th of July party.
exactly. And yeah, I travel up Africa, a bit more in Africa. Yeah, I've been in Uganda at the beginning of the year, and that was an amazing experience. Thank you to Impact Week, the company, the Impact Week, also social enterprise, where they do design thinking all over the world, and asked me to tag along. I've been coordinating the Impact Week program in South Africa at Tiba for the last 2 years, and they've been doing such an amazing job with enabling people of solving their own problems or their own challenges, whether it's becoming a business or receiving the training as to being able to do design thinking. So they made that opportunity possible, which I'm extremely grateful for.
Mhm.
Yeah.
More exploration.
Yeah, more explore.
More adventure.
100%, just more adventure.
I love that. Awesome. I'm excited to see.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I've always admired about you, and I think now that we've had this time to sit down and actually really unpack it, it really makes sense, is I know, and you're going to laugh when you hear this, I know I've put you in intentionally uncomfortable situations and sat you at tables that maybe you didn't feel like you belonged.
Mhm.
And what I've always loved is watched you be nervous, but do it anyway. Right. And I think that that is a lesson that your life kind of brings. And it makes so much sense after what we've talked about today. But I mean, sitting you in restaurants that you're like, I never thought I would ever sit in this restaurant, or going, hey, come and sit in this meeting. And you're like, what the heck? But I love that you take everything, like every opportunity and any challenge, even though it is uncomfortable or a little bit like somewhere where you never thought you would be, or somewhere where you maybe in your mind you thought you didn't belong, you always take it on head on and be uncomfortable and be okay with being uncomfortable and be willing to say that you're uncomfortable. And I think that that has helped, like, kind of, you know, that mindset of seeing opportunity, not scarcity.
Mhm.
I feel like that you embody that in the way that you take on things that do feel too big for you. You see the opportunity in it, even if it feels really uncomfortable. And I really admire that about the way you choose to live. So I just wanted to end with that, because I think that is a really amazing way to live life, is to just be open to the world and all it has to offer you. And it's going to take you to some really amazing places.
Amazing.
Yeah. And we've got to get you to that cookout.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And I can't wait for part 2 in a couple of years' time, maybe. We'll see. Watch
Yeah.
this space.
Thank you so much, Nikki, for having me.
Clayton, thank you so much for sharing your story and your pearls of wisdom with us. I hope you all enjoyed either meeting Clayton or catching up with all that he's been up to if you know him already. That is it for this week, and we will see you next week.